Last night, I placed 4 mouse traps around the feed and in the feed area. One remains unsprung. Another is sprung. Oops. Is sprung, and the peanut butter is gone. Another is sprung, and the peanut butter is gone. That's 3. The 4th one was right here. It is sprung, and it is gone. Did you ever see Jaws, and the part in Jaws where they shot the buoy into the shark? They shot the harpoon into the shark with the line back to the buoy, and the buoy went out, and the shark just pulled under and it just disappeared, and now they had no idea where he was, and it was extra creepy. I think I'm dealing with a great white mouse. Great white mouse. He's taking my traps back. He's gonna decorate his little mouse hole with them. He's sending me a message. Message is I gotta find a way to catch a bigger mouse. I'm gonna need a bigger trap. Okay, well, my wife pointed out the possibility that it could be a possum. So if that's the case, then I'm definitely gonna need something bigger. Yeah. All right, I also walked around just in case the trap was laying outside with a tail in it. There's nothing. So we'll just keep after it. We're gonna get them. We'll get them. Probably. Well, this is great stuff. Because it's great stuff. Yeah, I just took that and just went around, because a lot of these pipes are hollow. And so I just went around and like capped all the ends of them, close them in. It's not fully working here across the board, but across the top, all up in those, on both sides, on the ends. And I just taking that precaution. It may not do anything, but just a way to just make it less easy for wasps or something else to get in there and make a home and be a threat to me or to the birds. So, yeah. I'll obviously have some cleanup to do. Great stuff is not neat stuff. Or maybe it is, unless you're, heavy-handed like I am with it. So I got the first round of pieces mounted on the side. And so what I did is I just ran like a 2x2 basically on the inside here on both sides. And then it's just a compression that's screwed in from the outside. And so just the compression of that and the fact that this is lattice is holding everything in place. And so that's good. I'll do one at the bottom, I think, but I need to put some flooring down first before I do that. And then I'll get up top and I'll use self-drilling screws, sheet metal screws, to come through from the back and drill into these and just hold everything in place that way. I considered not even doing anything on the bottom and just leaving it this stuff, because we're in Florida. But so temperature isn't really a thing, but I just decided to just go all in on it. Getting the sides up, and I figured out, what I wanted to do. Hang on, I gotta climb up. I'll try to do it without falling on my rear. All right, I start off with cutting screws, and I put them in because these are hollow, and so I wanted to, get them on there in such a way that would hold everything in place. Problem is then I had the seams, right? So you can see on this side, where I haven't done anything yet, where the boards come together, that's pretty flimsy. All right, now they're not coming out. Like this one's good because I got one at the end and I got this here, but they're not coming out. but I need to give them something strong to hold those seams together. And so this is what I'm doing. I'm just taking up a slice of a 2x3, which I just happen to have. You know, it was left over from another project. And so mount them in place and then screw them in, and that gives good rigidity right there at the seam. You can see how I'm doing it because I'm working by myself, and I don't like to go grab other people to come work on my projects because honestly, sometimes I get a little short. Go figure. This is what I'm doing for the top one. Put the C-clamp over, and then it also, by where I put the tip of the clamp, also tells me where to put my screws on the outside to hold that in place. And then at the bottom here, I just took another piece of a 2x3, cut a notch on it, and I just set it in here and then tap it down and wedge that into place to hold that. So it's got the board pushed out, and then when I put the screws in from the other side, it doesn't let anything fall out, you know what I mean? So I got one more seam to do on this side, and then one seam, two seams on the other side. And then when that's done, I'm gonna put in some hardware cloth for the floor, and then make sure that's good and sort of anchored down. And then I'll put some plywood, or not plywood, I could do plywood, I guess. But some 2x10 or something down the middle. Because right now, when I walk, hang on, let me zoom out. You know, I walk, this is how I'm crossing this thing, or I might step down onto the frame in the middle here. But it's, once I get hardware cloth across there, I don't want to risk stomping through it. You know, that would be not fun, and I would certainly have a few things to say about myself then. So let's avoid that. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Okay, so this is what the floor looks like right now. I wasn't able to source any of this stuff, so I went with hardware cloth. I'll put a 2x8 on each side, which I'll simultaneously use for screwing in the bottom of these exterior boards, which will give them a little extra holding power where they are. And then I'll get underneath and tack them with the stapler at intervals. At least that's the plan, and that should give me a good solid base walking up and down on this 2x12 piece of cake, man. Nothing, no sagging, no bowing, no what appeared to be no stress on the hardware cloth from my body weight. And we've got these posts at intervals, so it should be good, and I don't see it going to slip at all. So that's where we are today. Pretty pleased with that. Up there at the top, up in there will be hardware cloth as well, to leave ventilation but keep the birds protected. Whew. Okay.